We're going to turn a little bit to something a little less pleasurable. This is a pretty sad story. The family of a Loudoun County college student who died in Richmond over the weekend says they suspect that fraternity hazing led to the tragedy. 19-year-old Adam Oakes was found unresponsive in an off-campus apartment near Virginia Commonwealth University early Saturday. A fraternity at the school has been suspended. Scott Broom is following up on this tragedy.
Adam Oakes' heartbroken family says they will not let grief stop them from demanding answers.
He only wanted to be accepted and he wanted to be friends with people. And he just had such a big heart, and he's leaving a massive hole in my heart.
That's Father Eric Oakes and cousin Courtney White. White says she talked with partygoers and police who told her Oakes died after a rush ceremony for new members of the Delta Chi fraternity at VCU. She said Adam was given a bottle of whiskey and told to drink, that he was blindfolded and hit his head after stumbling into a tree and was left on a couch to sleep it off. Police were called when Oakes was found face down unresponsive at 9:16 Saturday morning, according to Richmond police. Richmond police have not confirmed White's account of what happened. They say they don't know what killed Adam Oakes yet. They're waiting for results from the medical exam. The Delta Chi Fraternity National Office reacted by suspending the VCU chapter, saying the organization is devastated and asking members at VCU to cooperate with law enforcement. In a statement, the university said it's participating in the police investigation. The death occurred off campus. The tragedy hit home in Loudoun County. Potomac Falls High School tweeting, "We will miss your spirit, Adam." Oakes played football at Potomac Falls and is being remembered on a GoFundMe page as joyful, a loving soul, and a genuine character. Oakes' family has launched a Twitter feed, Justice for Adam. Scott Broom, WUSA 9.